Ayo, it's me, MTG Jade, here again for another video. Today we're going to be doing a video on the Commando I've been wanting to share with you guys for the longest time. It's probably my favorite Commando deck. It's just pretty complicated. So I'm going to have a primer in the description that will be on a docs to go alongside this for if you want to look at it after the video, on top of the deck list, of course, like always. So let's go into it. So our Commando is a Commando literally no one's heard of. And it makes sense. It came from Kamigawa. A ton of commandos came out then, and not a lot of them are used. We have Kentaro, the smiling cat. He basically doesn't look like much. He looks like nothing, actually. A 2-mana commando that makes your samurai cost X less. So what's the point? You don't have multiple colors since it's going to be mono white. Well, my friend, that's where the fun comes in, because mana reducing effects work with him. So it's a combo-based deck that's mono white and incredibly janky as hell. I love it. I call it the 5-card combo deck. No one really is going to attack you because it's a combo deck because it requires so many pieces, but when you pull it off, man, it feels good. It's the best feeling in the world. So let's get into this deck tech. First, the key part of our combo, we need a bunch of samurai so that the ability and we can free cast them. We have mainly cheap samurai and stuff. Of course, we also have changelings since there's not enough samurai or really good ones and stuff. So let me go over them. We got Arbor Moth Rider, Impostor of the Sixth Pride, Devoted Retainer, Hand of Honor, Indebted Samurai, Inner Chamber Guard, Kitsu Blade Master, Kitsu Dawnblade, Kono's Hate Motto, Konda Lord of Egypt. I'm butchering all these names, sorry. We got Mirror Entity, Moth Rider Samurai, Nagaro Bound by Honor, Sensei Golden Tail, Tenkaro Samurai General, and Opei Komodo's whoever that is. Sorry. So yeah, we got those samurai. We get them. We want some cheap ones. We have, of course, some expensive ones since there's not enough cheap samurai and changelings out there. So yeah, now let's go on to the next part of this overly complicated combo, which is the mana reduction stuff. So we'll be able to cast these samurai for free without any mana because of our commando's ability. So for these, we got a couple of them. We got Cloud Key, Helm of Awakening, Herald's Horn, which is great because it's also technically sometimes card draw, Immortal Sun, which is just also card draw, which is just great because it's mono white, Seal of the Gate Pack, Pole's Medallion, Urza's Incubator, Sembalance Anvil, and Oketra's Monument, which also works for another part of this combo later on we'll talk about. So now let's go on to the next part. We need a whole bunch of ETB stuff. So all the stuff we can get from casting our samurai and stuff. We want triggers to happen that can pay us off and win the game, just like the Oketra's Monument I literally just talked about. Okay, for these we got Oketra's Monument, like I just said, God Eternal Oketra, Aetherflux Reservoir, Bloodline Pretender, which is also a samurai, but it becomes a big boy pretty fast, Cathor's Crusade, and Irregular Cohort, which is also a samurai, which is nice and just can make a whole bunch of them. Now for the next part, for how this works. We have a bunch of ways to cast our samurai for free and payoffs for it, but how do we continuously cast that? For that, we have two different methods, which is why I love this deck. It may be a 5-card combo, but there are multiple ways to get to that 5-card combo. Let's first talk about the first way, the sacrifice way of doing this combo. For this, you'll need two things. One, sack outlets, which we're running Ashnar's Altar and Myra's Cause. The second part, we need to have the stuff to make them when they sacrifice, they come back to our hand or back to the battlefield. For that, we have Endure Renewal, Oathkeeper, Ternos Deshere, and Yomi whatever, who bears the way. All three of these let our stuff either come back to our hand or come back to the battlefield so we can keep triggering off and get the combo going. Now, let's go into the second way. It's a lot more simple, only requires one card, and it's just Cloudstone Choreo. Everyone knows it. It's just a completely broken card, and it's probably one of, if not the best card in this deck, because it just lets us cast our samurai non-stop incredibly easily. Okay, now let's go over the next part of it, which is highly needed, Arturos, to make sure that this crazy combo can actually be pulled off. For this, we have Enlightened Tutor, which just lets us get our combo pieces, of course, Search for Glory, an amazing new card that replaced Athalia's Lancel. Or I think it was Thalia's Lancel, the card we basically used to have in it. Swords for Glory is just better because we're already running Snowlands for ramp and stuff, so yeah. And then lastly, Inventor's Fail. Just another great tutor to get our stuff back. Get our stuff on the battlefield for a crazy combo. Okay, now let's go into the next part, removal. We're only running 3 things of removal in this deck because we really want to pull off that combo, and most people generally don't want to kill us until last because we're most of the time completely useless. So we have Crush Contraband, Generous Gift, and Swords to Plowshare. Now let's go into the board wipes to help clear the board so our crazy combo can go off. We got Dusk / Dawn, just great, especially because most of our creatures are incredibly cheap, and that Dawn part really pays off. And then we got Terminus, just gets around all that graveyard shenanigans that happen all the time in Commando, so yeah. Now let's go on to the value cards. Cards we're running because we're mono white and need as much value as we can get. We have Amiria Shepherd, Amiria the Sky Ruin, Sun Titan, Mirror Mage, and then a card to help us get through if we have really big creatures but they have blockers, Rogue's Passage. Now let's go on to the ramp of this deck, which we have a lot of because we want to ramp out real fast so we can actually pull off what we want to do. We have Arcane Signet, Basilisk Monument, Caged Sun, Soul Ring, Expedition Lens, Keeper of the Accord, Wayfarer's Bauble, Mirrored Landscape, Smothering Tide, Land Tax, Mind Stone, and Mox Amble, which is just great because our commando's a 2-drop, so Mox Amble is normally just going to come down fast and actually be activated and stuff. Now let's go on to the card draw, which is incredibly important because we're mono white, and that's one of the things mono white lacks the most of. We got Scroll Rack, which is great with Land Tax, which is in the deck. War Room, which is just a great new mono white card draw method. Mentor of the Meek to help us draw cards. Vanquisher's Banner, since we're running our Samurai, just lets us draw cards from bouncing and stuff. And then lastly, Mind's Eye, which if you also have Smothering Tide on the battlefield, you have the potential of having a Ristic Study in mono white. You only need 2 more cards instead of just 1 to have it work, but it's great when it's there. Alright, now let's go into the combo protection, so we can make sure our stuff actually happens. We got Orum's Champ, which not only protects us from just flat out being killed, also can protect our combo. Just an amazing card, just a strictly battle silence that more people should be running, even though it's kind of expensive, so I get why people run silence instead. We got Teferi's Protection, which is kind of just like a duh. We're in mono white, of course we're going to run it. And then lastly, Emergency Zone, which lets us do our combo at instant speed, which is absolutely huge since most of it can easily be disrupted by a single board wipe after we get all of our creatures or whatever, which Emergency Zone just helps cover that up. Now let's go into the last part, the lands. The lands, we're running 28 snow cover plains because we want to make sure we can get off our ramp with the snow ramp and stuff. Vutsuva, just one of the best lands in the game. If you have a deck you really enjoy and stuff, just plop that thing in there. It's expensive, so only put in your favorite decks, but man, I love it. One of the best lands around. And then lastly, Lotus Field, which is in here because it's just amazing for mono white, as it combos with stuff that helps us ramp, or like Land Tax or Keeper of the Accord, just gives us less lands so we can then get more lands and stuff, which is great, and it doesn't put us down mana. So yeah, that's my deck. I'm sorry if it's complicated. I know it is, but it's my favorite deck. I absolutely love this thing. It's the deck, my first deck that I'm blending out, which is fun and expensive as all hell. So that'll take time, but eventually we'll be fully blinged out and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like it and share if you enjoyed it. That's it. See you guys in the next one. Kaboosh!